Hello everyone, this is Daughter Darkness, and today I've got something very exciting to talk about. Yesterday I was at EGX, which is a gaming convention here in England, and there I was able to play Kingdom Hearts 2.8, specifically Kingdom Hearts 0.2. I didn't get to play Dream Drop Distance, but then I didn't actually see anyone choose to play Dream Drop Distance at all throughout the entire day, and at the end of the day, Dream Drop Distance is Dream Drop Distance, so there wouldn't have been a huge amount to talk about even if I did. But I did get to play the 0.2 demo, which was very nice, and today I just wanted to talk over some of my thoughts about it. This is pretty much specifically about gameplay, because story-wise, we already knew everything that's in it. The sort of most important part of the gameplay for most people is the combat, and the way that Aqua attacks. A lot of people would ask, does it feel like Kingdom Hearts 2? Is it that good? And it's kind of difficult to say because, well, you never play as Aqua in Kingdom Hearts 2. Whereas it's much easier to compare it to Birth by Sleep. I can't say it feels like Kingdom Hearts 2 because Aqua doesn't feel like Sora, she feels like herself. She still does feel like Aqua, but it feels a lot better than Birth by Sleep. It's a lot faster, it feels like more hard-hitting when you hit stuff. As far as floatiness goes, I guess there is still an element of that there. It's not completely gone, but it doesn't feel nearly as bad as it did before. Part of that might be just because everything's faster, so it doesn't really feel like as much of a problem. I've said before that I don't actually hate how it feels in Birth by Sleep as much as a lot of people do anyway, but Aqua here is definitely better than she is in that. As far as what you can do, there's obviously attack, magic and items in your command menu, and you can also unlock shot locks as well as a single command style, which is Spellweaver, or in this version it's called Ars Magica. Now, I don't think that this is a thing that's going to be for all versions of 0.2, because as I understand it, the E3 demo said Spellweaver, whereas the Gamescom demo said Ars Magica, and if it says Ars Magica here, then perhaps it means that that's the kind of European English version of it as well, which I actually think is a very good thing, because in the past the English, European or UK localization of any previous Kingdom Hearts game has basically just been the US version. If they have a different name of the command style for the UK version than they do for the North American one, maybe this could be a sign that they're going to actually localize it properly, so maybe there could be one day in the future where I can customize my characters with an S rather than customizing them with a Z. We can live in hope. Now, in terms of the use of all of the things that you get to use, another problem that Birth by Sleep had was that a lot of the things it had were very overpowered, and you could just spam certain attacks, primarily shot locks, but also some commands, and it would basically just clear out all of the enemies, and things would be pretty simple. And I can say that nothing is nearly as spammable in this. Everything seems to have its own use, but nothing seems to be an end-all solution for everything. The shot locks, for example, still do a fair amount of damage, but, for example, I used it on a swarm of Heartless at one point. If I'd done that against a swarm of Unversed in Birth by Sleep, they'd have been gone, but a lot of the Heartless still actually survived it. So it doesn't do as much damage, it seems, as Birth by Sleep. Plus there's the fact that the focus gauge, it depletes a lot faster, or it feels like it depletes a lot faster, and you need to target a lot more things to actually get a perfect shot lock. So it seems like it's a lot more difficult to just spam shot locks as you could do, where the focus gauge ended up, once you'd leveled up, depleting so slowly compared to how quickly your shot lock got up. You could just do them basically forever. I don't think you can do that here. As far as magic goes, it seems a bit different to before. Primarily, magic before would be used as a way of giving damage, with the exceptions of stuff like Magnet and Stop, which had their own specific uses. Blizzard, Fire and Thunder generally were just there to cause damage, of course more damage against opposing element, enemies and so on, but primarily damage giving. This time it seems like the magic does not do quite as much damage as before, and instead it inflicts a status ailment, so thunder shocks the enemy, blizzard freezes it, and so on. I didn't use fire all that much, but part of that's because it was shortcutted to L1 and circle, which it just doesn't work for me as a way of using an offensive spell. It's just a weird thing. But yeah, none of the spells seem capable of sort of destroying a bunch of enemies. However, you know, if you do thunder, then a lot of the enemies are shocked for a few seconds, so that gives you an opening to attack. So I think it's nice that they've got all these features in, but it doesn't feel like anything is a really great solution to every single problem. So it seems like they're balancing things out a little bit better than they did in Birth by Sleep, but I guess I'll have to wait until the full game to know for sure. As far as the cartwheel goes, Aqua's dodge roll, I didn't really use it that much in battle, so I can't say if it's the undefeatable god mode that it is in Birth by Sleep or not. From what I tried, it seems pretty much the same, but I didn't really test out like whether it's got vulnerability frames or anything like that. So we'll have to wait till January to find out what it's really like. Graphics wise, this is the improved version that was shown at TGS. Aqua and Terra look a lot better than they did at E3. Their models are very much improved gameplay wise, or sort of in gameplay. It doesn't look that much different, but I guess it wouldn't, because the worlds already looked fine and you don't really see Aqua's face much during gameplay. And then going on to voice acting, the voice acting seems fine. I know a lot of people don't like the way that Aqua speaks in the trailers. In Birth by Sleep, she was quite wooden at times, I guess. Now, I don't think she's ever going to be an amazing voice actress, but I think she's done an alright job. It's better than it was in Birth by Sleep. As I say, she's not amazing, but she's doing the best she can do, I guess. One thing that's nice is that while you'll be going around, Aqua will talk occasionally during the gameplay. This is something that's never really happened before in Kingdom Hearts. So occasionally, for example, in this case you're trying to get gears, and if you've already got the gear in one way you're going, then she'll say something like, "I don't think there's anything more this way." I like things like that the game kind of steers you in the right direction in a way that the character's doing it themselves. I think that's a nice way of doing it. It's a lot better than that like little box that would come up before in the previous games. But generally there are opportunities to sort of go your own way. The world here is quite small because it's just a demo of a game that's much smaller than, say, Kingdom Hearts 3. There is one thing that's the problem as far as voice acting is concerned, and that is that Aqua's battle quotes are still taken from Birth by Sleep. I know they were in the previous trailer, but a lot of people, me included, thought that was just a placeholder and they would be replaced. But it's still Birth by Sleep battle quotes here, and it's looking increasingly likely like they are here to stay, which is unfortunate, but I guess it's not the worst thing that could ever happen. There is an element of platforming in this game, as there is in every Kingdom Hearts game, and it feels fine. The free running element is here a little bit. There are like lampposts, or like the top of lamp things hanging between buildings that you can jump on, and that is automatic. She does it just as part of her running, but I actually think that's a good thing, because it doesn't feel like you're constantly having to like pause while you're running places. She'll just go there herself a little bit. I think it blends into the gameplay nicely enough that it's not really a problem. The boss of this demo was of course the Heartless Swarm, or the Devil Swarm as Nomura has said it's called. It was quite a cool boss. I was able to beat it relatively easily, but yeah, it was fun. It wasn't ridiculously hard, but I wouldn't expect it to be. This is a demo where we're given a much larger HP bar than it seems like she's gonna have for the whole game. Yeah, it's an early game boss as part of a demo, so I wasn't expecting it to be really hard. As far as Spellweaver goes, it did still seem quite powerful, but it didn't seem to activate as often as it would in Birth by Sleep. Once I unlocked it, it only actually activated once during the demo, and while that was able to do quite a bit of damage to the Devil Swarm, it didn't activate as often as in Birth by Sleep, so again, it looks like even the very powerful stuff isn't going to be as spammable as it was before, which is only a good sign. There was one problem that a lot of people had with 0.2 at E3 in particular. I don't know about the demo since then, but that was the performance. They said that there were lots of frame drops sort of often happening during the demo. I did not notice any frame drops. It felt like the game was running perfectly smoothly, and as far as I'm aware, this was just on a standard PS4, not on a PS4 Pro. There was a PS4 Pro at the event, but that was in the PlayStation area. I don't think Square Enix brought one. So yeah, performance wise it looks like they've also made some nice improvements since E3. There were loading screens before and after cutscenes, but they weren't coming on during gameplay, which is nice. It wasn't like, you know, go to the next area, load screen in the next area, load screen next area, and so on. And the load screens there were not too bad. They were just like a couple of seconds. So it's not really a problem. It's not like 2.5 levels where you're like spending half the game watching a spinning heart. They weren't very intrusive, but they were present. It's not really a problem for me. So the final point, I guess, is the music. It seemed like it was just the Realm of Darkness music from the secret episode of Birth by Sleep. Aqua's theme played a little bit. It did sound like, I guess, better, almost like it was remastered-ish, but it's hard to say because I was playing with headphones on, which I don't tend to do, so I can't really give a good account of whether the music was remastered or if it's just the same as Birth by Sleep. I guess, again, we'll find out when the game is out. And they also played at the end the like music box, Dearly Beloved, that comes on at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, which was a nice thing to see. That was just a small thing that I liked. So yeah, that's it. I've ended up talking for longer than I was expecting to, but there was quite a lot to cover, I guess, for my first playable experience of Kingdom Hearts 0.2. On the whole, I think very positive. They've made huge improvements from Birth by Sleep. Aqua feels so much better to control, and I think as far as translations to Kingdom Hearts 3 go, I think that the signs are very good. It seems to me like the people making these games know what they're doing, so I'm very confident that the final results are going to be even better than what I enjoyed yesterday. So, thanks for watching the video, and if you have any thoughts about this, if you've managed to play it yourself, or you're going to, then please feel free to share it in the comment section below the video. And while you're down there, please like this video if you did, and if you liked it, then check out my other videos and subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you for watching.